Rebirth and Verdansk. What? If this came out as a mid-season update, you'd be like, yeah, all right.
SYMFUHNY calls out Black Ops 7 and Warzone.
That could easily transfer over to Warzone, not in Warzone. Someone please tell me how the wall jumping mechanic, which is the coolest, biggest, most hype feature in the new game, is not in Warzone. Someone's gotta tell me that. I don't know how. It's the coolest thing about the new game. You have to put it in Warzone, bro. You have to. I think Black Ops 7 looks good, and I'm excited to play Black Ops 7. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If you take away the guns swapping in because of the new game, and the perks because of the new game, guys, I don't even know if this update on Warzone would pass as a mid-season update. I don't even know if it would be good enough for a mid-season update. I'm not kidding. I mean, there's Haven's Hollow, but like... Rebirth and Verdansk. What? If this came out as a mid-season update, you'd be like, yeah, all right.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious that Black Ops 7 is a bit disappointing, but what's even more disappointing is Warzone. While players were expecting something huge, something to change the game from the dying player count of Warzone, which right now has never recovered even on Steam, which I'm guessing is the same for Xbox Game Pass Battle.net. Now we just got a little, mid-season basically waiting moment, and a lot of streamers are very frustrated at that point because this is literally the point we have of Call of Duty, having this big problem where it is one of the biggest companies and they couldn't release more content than 2 new locations at that point. And I feel like a lot of people are very frustrated with that, as Warzone did never recover those 2020 level of hype. And if we look at here, Black Ops 7 is going to have the same fate. There's about 3 million people, up to 3 million people playing daily. We don't have the full statistics for Warzone, but it's very, very obvious that Warzone was really the thing that, saved Black Ops at that matter. But now we do have only 1 to 3 maps in the new roadmap that was revealed. A lot of streamers are talking bad about it. Again, I do understand that this would be just randomly, during waiting for a season, but this is literally when Black Ops 7 launches, when there's going to be a biggest hype and when there's going to be most players. Instead, what we got is a very small portion and basically, a signal station, factory, Verdansk, Rebirth Island, and Haven's Hollow, but a smaller portion of Haven's Hollow, which nobody actually asked for. I think the map looks amazing, don't get me wrong, but the real stuff is coming in 2026, and this is in 7 months. And, Fortnite releasing stuff every single month really puts you in competition, and then saying like, oh, we're putting back the old modes like Plunder and Casual, but that's the issue here. Is ranked play is coming and also Blackout experience, but Avalon is not going to be Blackout. It's going to be a big map or so. Wow, awesome. Are we getting a big map after 1 year? So a lot of people are frustrated that way, especially what are we going to do regards to content? They were expecting so much more content. Just look at Call of Duty content where we have Season 1 and Black Ops Season 6. I feel like they really put Warzone on a back burner, even though it's huge revenue. This is really the type of content we got just at the Season 01 launch and all the maps. And I really feel like that you can notice the difference over here. Like, this is just a mass improvement, and this is 1 year of difference here. And I really feel like they could even cross over some of the Black Ops 7 content into Warzone. I wouldn't personally mind that. They have a lot of assets. I just feel like it's really lazy and they're taking the audience for granted. People have been complaining about so many cheaters on Warzone as well, and nothing was done that after years of work because I don't feel like it affects their sales enough to mind it. But every 10th or 9th game I'm playing, there's a hacker there inside. And when I was supposed to be first, obviously they win because they have cheats. So yeah, a lot of these players will in fact have to move on to make other content. We already have plenty of content creators and Warzone ones who are simply quitting because of the burnout with too little content. And that's exactly something that happened with Valorant as well. There just wasn't enough content to go for. And so many creators had to quit because they couldn't make it a full-time job. Same for Battlefield 2042. And it's really getting obvious because, one part is the awesome game, but the other part is all these content creators promoting Warzone. We saw the same with Rainbow Six Sieges. Like, there is content, there is stuff to do, but it's nothing compared to what it should be, especially... Warzone has no excuses here. It's a billion-dollar game, and they have assets for life. They have funds for life, and they could make any game. They could make it as big as GTA 6 at this point. The more money you get, the bigger the game gets, right? And this is the issue here. What are we getting, like, as a Cyberpunk type map? You're telling me, like, in 1 year you could only put up a new map or two. So again, 2 maps and doing a ranked play, and potentially Call of Duty Blackout, which might be using reused engine and reused assets anyway, so it's going to be 50% easier to make. So yeah, SYMFUHNY makes a pretty fair and valid point here, is he was also very frustrated with the Warzone he got, because if you're playing this for every single year, you're getting sick of it, especially because he is playing and streaming this full time. So he probably is getting really sick of it. If you eat tortillas every day, you're probably getting sick of tortillas or tacos, right? So it makes total sense for him that, you know, this is not something that even content creators want. Instead, in the first season, we're getting a very, very tiny portion of the Haven's Hollow, and I am actually very disappointed with this because it looks like something that came out of beta. And I don't like to see that. I wanted to see so much more and so much more potential. Again, I bet the details are good, but this looks like a Black Ops 6 map or Zombies map. Again, I don't think this would take more than 3 months to make. I guess we haven't fully seen everything inside yet, but we are really at that point where they could just release so much more content. Even if they release new weapons, new content updates, new game modes, so much, or even like a way to make maps. Wouldn't that be amazing? Fortnite has done it for 5 years. Warzone still doesn't have an option to actually create a map. People are getting burned out, and some people would love to see some sort of parkour, B-hop, or just like 1v1 battles in Warzone. Well, you cannot have that. Isn't that amazing? So I feel like pretty frustrated with this one, this update. Hopefully they learn from this one, and the player base, you know, leaving for other games will push them forward to strive better, but SYMFUHNY is pretty frustrated as well here.